to another Ask Me Anything About My Travels series. It is what? Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday already? It is. It's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday, everybody. And I'm coming back to you. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I was actually in Chicago visiting two of my best friends. Haven't seen them in over 2 years. So that was pretty cool. And the reunions keep on happening, which is really fun to not only come back and see all these wonderful people again, but enjoy continuing to travel a little bit here, a little bit there. It never really stops, which is nice because once you start to do it, it gets pretty easy to move up to Chicago for a couple days to visit some friends and come right back to it. So in this one, I was talking to my friends and a couple people around here, and I kept on running across this question of why travel in the first place, especially when it comes to abroad travel, because, well, the US is massive. It has a lot of things to offer, including world-class nature. It has much of the world represented here. So why go? Why go in the first place? And that's a very interesting question because it really, for me, my love of travel came at certain parts of my life. Usually after dark parts of my life is when it really became a major player in my lifestyle and also had the greatest impact. And it really didn't take much. So out of college, I was going through a really dark time, getting out of a relationship, dealing with graduation, moving on from what I knew to the job and everything else. It was really hard. It was a really hard time for me. And it was so funny because I never thought that this would really spark the entire trip, but it was really one of my first trips that I did alone, and I went to Madison, Wisconsin, which is an 8-hour drive. It's not too bad, but during that dark time, I needed a change. I needed something. I needed some kind of disruption to the daily cycle of misery that I was in. So I called a friend that I'd known since preschool, basically, or kindergarten, went all the way up to Wisconsin, visited him, hadn't seen him in a while, had a fantastic time, and it completely changed my mindset from something that was almost locked into a hard cycle, a painful cycle, to seeing it not only a different way of life, but seeing that I could do something different. My day could look like something different. Everything could be different. I was in control. And that's really what I felt when I did that Madison trip. And then when I came back, I started taking the steps to get myself out of it. So that's really where my love of travel came from. And then there was a couple other trips along the way, including a trip to Germany before I left for the major trip with my family, where I got to meet my relatives and really decide that abroad part was what I want to do. But really the main spark was that first Madison, Wisconsin trip, and the benefits that it had on me during a really, really hard part of my life. And I actually had a really great conversation with one of my friends yesterday, because he is actually also getting out of a relationship and in one of those really weird sort of gray area times in life. And travel came up as a possibility, just to jumpstart his life in different ways, get new inputs. And I completely agree. It's something that really helps you restart. So there's a couple reasons why that happens, in my opinion. And one of them is that I like to call travel the land of inputs, because you're constantly getting new things all the time. And depending on where you go, everything could be completely new and different. So your entire routine changes, or even just little subtle differences that you can see in the daily lives of the people that you go visit, or just, how the food tastes a little bit different, the scenery is completely different. And just those little things to help break the cycle that you're currently in can be super beneficial. And the restart really happens when you come back. So when you go and it's complete chaos, of course, and you're seeing new things, you're meeting new people, you're doing excursions or things that you've never seen before, maybe something that you've really wanted to see, learning about history. And then when you come back, you have this renewed sense of, everything. And part of that benefit comes from the fact that you now have a contrast to your old life and then the systems in it. So your routine, going to work, coming back, maybe hanging out with your friends, going to happy hour, that same routine now has some kind of contrast that you can what's the right word? Compare. You can compare your life, your previous life to. So maybe that cycle wasn't what you really wanted to be doing. You've just fallen into it. And then when you go and see something and do something for a couple weeks, then you can really see the difference in the contrast between that life and your life, and make better decisions about what exactly you want to do in the new life. Now, and that can help in a couple different ways in different parts of your life, because especially when you end relationships, or you get laid off from your job, or there's a really major disruption to your life, then it can really be hard. It can really be a challenge to, I don't know, like reorganize your life and move forward. And having a contrast or a little shakeup, a little trip to go and see other ways of life and come back can really help you reorganize, or even just re-energize you to help you reorganize some kind of shock in your life. And the other part that I think really, really helps when you're, especially in dark times, or it's just things are getting really, really crazy, is that travel slows you down. You just don't have the burdens of the everyday, where you don't have this massive schedule. You can organize your day the way you want. You can read a book the entire time. It really doesn't matter. And this is one of the things that both me and Jackie really, really benefited from, was just a slower pace, just letting our minds wander, having unconstructed free time to create things or write or do any of those things. And travel can really do that, because there is a lot of downtime in airports, on buses, and depending on how quickly you're moving, the transport free time, excess time can really add up. And you can fill that with meaningful things that you take back with you. So those are two really major reasons that I definitely started traveling, and continue traveling. And I really try to interject travel when things start to get really hard. Maybe take a break. I'm trying to reorganize my life right now. So this Chicago trip for me was really beneficial. And in the midst of just the grind of getting things back together and rolling, I was able to take a break, go hang out with my friends, see a lot of new things, see the city of Chicago again, and come back and get rejuvenated. So if you guys are struggling, if you guys are in a really hard spot in your life, think about it. And of course, you don't have to go abroad. That is a major financial commitment. But you can go to a different city in the US, really experience something new, and take that back with you. And it might just be the jump start you need to get going into the next phase of your life, like it was for me. So that is it for me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed that one, because looking back on it, those trips were so meaningful to me and really helped me get over some major hurdles in my life. So get over those major hurdles. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, of course, put them in the description or in the comments section, and I will be glad to answer them. Not only answer them, but hopefully make more videos about them. If you like these topics, just go ahead and like the video, share it with your friends if you really like to. The YouTube channel is up and running. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, there's more videos. If you're watching on Facebook, then there's a whole archive on YouTube, and the link is in the description. So thanks, guys. Have a great Wednesday. And yeah, keep going, go travel, and have a great day. See you later, guys.